everyone, I'm Jen from Mum in the Madhouse and a Thrifty Mum.
And I'm Cass from the Diary of a Frugal Family.
And we're here today to talk to you on our first of our regular Ask a Money Saving Mum slots. And this week we're going to talk about school dinners versus packed lunch.
And my children have packed lunches every day and yours have school
dinners every day. So we'll start with, I have two boys, they're 6 and 7. And they both have school dinners and have had school dinners since they started school. Our school dinners are £2 per day, so that's £20 a week for me. And I think that's great value for what they get.
My two have packed lunches. I make quite a lot of the packed lunch things, so our packed lunches come in at a lot less than £2. They are, if I just get out my total, without props, £1.18 a day.
So what we have here is this is what you regularly give the children?
Yeah, this is what we do every day. So we have a packet of crisps, which aren't particularly good for you, but a little bit in moderation is fine. They work out 16 pence a day because we buy the multi-packs. Quite often they are cheaper if you look out for the good deals. We've got a piece of fruit, which I normally work out to be around 20 pence a day. Again, can be a lot cheaper if you get the multi-deals, if you look around, buy reduced things. Sandwiches, they can vary quite a lot depending on what you put in. So we've got a ham sandwich today, which I work out to be around 45 pence a sandwich, but you can have cheese, which is a lot less. Use your Sunday dinner leftovers, which works out a lot less. Then we've got juice, which we've just got a regular bottle, just a screw top bottle, and we just use squash every day, which is about 10 pence. And then we've got packed lunch cake, which I make on a Friday. Now this cake costs £1.13 to make. It depends how much or how little you want to give the children. We would cut this into about 12 slices, which would mean it would work out at 10 pence a portion. You can cut it into bigger, smaller. Our school are really strict on what you can put in your packed lunches. So we tend to have quite small pieces so they get past the packed lunch police.
See, this wouldn't feed my two for lunch.
Go on, boys.
Unfortunately. When we do have packed lunch, which we do on occasion, and when they go to things like football when they need a packed lunch, they would eat 2 pieces of fruit at least. They would, you know, the sandwich would be demolished. They would probably have, well I tend to put in, they have half a cucumber each or carrot battens as well. They would have tomatoes added to that. They would probably have some sort of soft fruits. They would still have the crisps, and then they would take a bottle of water because, you know, that's just what they would drink. So I think that, you know, this is great, but for 2 growing boys who pretty much eat anything that's put in front of them, it's not sufficient, which is one of the reasons why I don't do packed lunches. And the other reason is I'm really lazy. You know, the thought of actually getting up and having to put a packed lunch together when I can just pay at the beginning of the term for a full term and know that, especially as it starts to get cold, that they can have a school dinner. And for example, their school dinners, if you would ask Minnie what he'd had this week, he had fish yesterday with boiled potatoes and peas. Maxie will, I think he had Yorkshire puddings with roast beef, roast potatoes and carrots and sweet corn.
But do you not worry that they don't eat anything? Like, I know Master Frugal wouldn't eat very much, you'd have the same thing every day.
Well, one of the things that we do on a regular basis is we sit down and look at the menu and they talk about what they wanted. And I think when they first started school, I was really concerned that they wouldn't eat their dinner. But they work a buddy system when they're small, so one of the year 4s always went with the smaller children and helped them pick their lunch. And the teachers tell you if they're not eating them. So there is children in Maxie's class that have subsequently moved to packed lunches because they weren't eating their dinners. So I think it's important to know what they're eating. And when we sit down at our evening meal, we talk about what they've had for their meal during the day. And I think it's just from a personal perspective to know that they're getting a warm meal, at school. Sort of works for me. I know from a frugal perspective that it's probably not.
It definitely doesn't work out good value. I think it's about £80 a month for school dinners, so we can do it for half the price. And I think ours, quite often the crisps will come back untouched. so they don't necessarily eat everything that's in there. But if they were eating everything and I had to put more in, then we'd need to re-look at it. But at the minute, it does work out really well for us, and we make it the night before. The dad makes it the night before, that's his job.
So that's us this week. We would love to hear from you about whether you think school dinners are a good value, or whether you think
packed lunches
are a better option. We'd also love to answer any questions that you have, so feel free to write to us or to leave a comment asking what you would like our next topic to be.
And now
we're going to eat cake and drink tea.